Around 10214 Fairway Lane, Bull Valley. Thank you for allowing me to address you this morning. Fleming Road Alliance respectfully requests that the McHenry County Board review the policies and procedures of the McHenry County Division of Transportation. I don't mean to sound accusatory, we're frustrated and we need to express ourselves and ask for help. We should not be wasting funds over designing and over constructing where simple, cost-effective solutions are available. Everything I read indicates that today's philosophy is to make roads fit the communities. And in the materials that I will be emailing you later, so as not to kill any more trees, there's a link to a publication by the Federal Highway Authority. The issue of right-of-way concerns me greatly. A McDOT engineer at a recent Alden Road public meeting told me that right-of-way line on the Alden Road map was drawn by the surveyors, but that no one had yet checked the individual property owner's plats or legal descriptions. When the Fleming Road Clear Zone map was presented for Community Advisory Group number 3, I'm just going to call that CAG from this point on, there was no legend for certain lines on the road that were identified when questioned as estimated right-of-way. And by the way, the Fleming Road Surveyor's contract, which has been built and paid for, calls for existing right-of-way, not estimated. Now the survey included with Fleming Road CAG 4 materials labels the same dashed line as existing right-of-way. And I'm not sure how that happened. It appears, rather than confirm legal right-of-way by available proof, McDOT simply claims right-of-way and requires the property owner to disprove it. Conversations with residents near the Alden Road Bridge about their experiences indicates to me that this is the case. This amounts to an illegal taking if a homeowner does not have the resources or knowledge to adequately defend his rights. The simple fact is that if a property owner owns to the middle of the road and has not dedicated a right-of-way or granted a McDOT an easement, all McDOT has is a prescriptive easement to the roadbed itself. A prescriptive easement gives McDOT only the right to maintain the road as it currently is. It does not grant right-of-way. I'm not sure McDOT is working on the same premise. Except to identify the estimated right-of-way line, my questions on right-of-way at the recent Fleming Road CAG 3 were deferred. A lot of questions were deferred at that meeting. Excuse me. Among those questions, I lost my place here, and as you know, I don't talk well without reading, that went unanswered are Fleming Road Alliance's long, repeated request for a cost-benefit analysis that we've been asking for since the very first open house in March of 2010. Also, a request for a review of a definition of exceptional trees, a request for review of design criteria, and other questions that will be addressed by other speakers here this morning. CAG meetings feel like a one-way street. If we could actually engage in a meaningful discussion, we might not be here this morning, but we don't feel like our views are being considered or we're really being listened to. A review of CAG 4 materials delivered by email on Friday fully supports our view that nothing has changed since the beginning. And after repeatedly being assured for months that no design work was being done without our input, we have suddenly, within a 2-week period of time, been presented with complex, detailed design options. Yes, it's our observation that McDOT and its engineering consultants are fixed on prescribed methods and standards that don't always fit the context of the project area and are unwilling to consider modifications. We call upon you today to review our policies and procedures in the McHenry County Division of Transportation, and I thank you for your time.
We all just heard representatives of the social service agencies reassure you that they were not coming today to ask for more money. Those of us who live on Walkup and Alden and Fleming roads would even like to give money back to the Division of Transportation for use on more pressing road projects. At an Alden Road public meeting this summer, I listened to the homeowners repeatedly request McDOT to provide them with information on McDOT's Alden Road website prior to the next meeting about how McDOT's Alden Road improvements would impact their individual properties. The homeowners were especially concerned about the fact that their properties would become non-conforming parcels. McDOT's firm, repeated reply was, in effect, "We cannot do this ahead of time because you would not understand it. We will bring these data on a big map to the next public meeting." I attended the Alden Road public meeting on January 5th, 2011, looked at McDOT's big Alden map, And I think this type of presentation had these problems. One, it was still difficult to understand the impact to the individual homeowner. Two, not all homeowners were able to attend. And really, in America, that should not result in forfeiture of one's right to know what the government intends to do to you. Three, if all homeowners from Alden Road had been able to attend, there would not have been enough time for each homeowner to sit down with the McDOT employee and discuss how the Alden Road project would affect their properties. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States guarantees that the government cannot take away a person's right to life, liberty, or property without due process. Due process to us lay people means fair play, that when the government intends to deprive a citizen of one of those protected rights, the government must, 1, give adequate notice of what it intends to do to the person, 2, provide the opportunity for a hearing in which the person has the right to argue against, by proof, every material act which bears on the question of the matter involved, before, 3, an impartial hearing officer. So how much process is due in our situation? The Fleming Road Alliance believes that 30 days before the public meeting, when McDOT exhibits the big map that details a road improvement, the county should provide each homeowner along these roads a copy of their individual legal description and plat of survey, showing exactly what right-of-way the county would like to acquire, and all of the objects, excuse me, including boundary markers in this clear zone. Because the county will be providing these maps to their negotiator for acquisition of right-of-way, surely you do that, the county can reasonably make the same map available to each homeowner.
Could you summarize, please?
We think this would be fair play. The disturbing stories we hear about McHenry County claiming to own land when they clearly do not, and the county's negotiator bullying homeowners into signing over their land has to stop. Most disturbing is McDOT's use of estimated right-of-way when McDOT's contract with the Jorgensen surveyors called for the use of existing right-of-way. McDOT's casual willingness to substitute the estimation of a homeowner's right-of-way instead of actually using the existing right-of-way constitutes a violation of good faith and fair play. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not going to let that go on anymore, so just so you know.
16 South Fleming Road, Blue Valley. I'm giving you pages from the February 16th through 22nd, 2011 issue of the Woodstock Independent for your consideration. Page 1, banner headline, News. Department of Transportation reveals new plans for Alden Road, but many residents are skeptical. Page 5, article, McDOT unveils new Alden Road. Modifications don't ease many residents' concerns, by Mike Newman. Page 8, opinion page that features 1, our view. McDOT, try again on Alden Road. 2, letter to the editor from myself requesting that McDOT use the flexibility that is addressed in the Flexibility in Highway Design issued by the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, and the Safety Edge Guidelines. 3, editorial cartoon that depicts an excavating machine and a smiling man in a hard hat throwing bags of money into a pit and an Alden Road sign. We are requesting that you examine the policies of McHenry County Division of Transportation, particularly the scope of their plan for Alden Road and Fleming Road in light of what appears to be 1, the wasteful squandering of money on projects that far exceed the amount of road improvement that is needed to correct deteriorating pavements, and 2, the unnecessary seizing of right-of-way from homeowners along these roads. Thank you very much.
Thank you.